Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. With that being said, I feel like WWE 2K26 might be in a little trouble as far as March is concerned, release date is concerned. Now I'm not talking about like the game needs to be delayed or it's in shambles, there's something going on in the back end, because let's face it, nobody really talks to me on the back end. But I was looking at all of the games releasing around when this game should launch, and it got me thinking. I'm like, dude, 2K26 is gonna have a lot of competition for sales, for our dollars, for our hard-earned money in the month of March. So I have a list here of every major game that's gonna come out around that time frame, and I'm curious. I want you guys to answer me in the comments down below. I mean, most of us, if you're on this channel and you're a fan of this channel, obviously wrestling comes first, right? Because we love wrestling games, we want to play wrestling games. I mean, there's very few and far between. We're waiting on Ultra Pro Wrestling, we're waiting on the wrestling code. Huge news for Ultra Pro Wrestling, by the way. Go check out my last video if you want all the details. With that being said, regardless if it's 2K or not, we still get really excited for new wrestling games. So for me, 2K26 is obviously the front of the list because of mainly this channel. I love wrestling games. Hopefully, we say it every single year. I know it's like beating a dead horse at this point. We hope this is the year that the game finally hits all marks and no major issues happen like last year. For me personally, there's a lot of creation suite issues. There was a lot of like face paint issues as far as making my wrestlers. Constant issues with stuff breaking with the creator wrestler. Just how they decided to monetize the island. Overall, it was a fun game. I liked the game, but I don't think the game had that much competition last year. This whole point of this video is to talk about how much competition 2K26 is going to have, and I'm worried that they're not going to get the sales that they're expecting, and they might lose funding for the next game. That's why I'm concerned. Sure, there'll be a sale a month later. There'll be a sale through Black Friday and tons of sales throughout the year. But with this going on, I'm curious if they're going to push more and more microtransactions for the people that actually buy the game over all the other stuff. Anyway, so without further ado, let's go look at this list of all these games coming out and pretty much the time frame that 2K26 should be released. We still don't have official confirmation, but there's speculation that it's going to be early March or the second week of March. And if that's the case, boy, do they have some big games to go up against. Let's get to this list. So here we are over on GameFAQs.com. All right, so at the end of February, we're getting probably one of the biggest games that is going to eat up sales from 2K26, and that is Resident Evil Requiem. Now, hopefully I said that right, because I've been saying that word wrong ever since they showed it out. Some words I just can't say. It's my special, getting punched in the jaw so many times and my brain concussions. Anyway, so that's a huge game. If you are a Resident Evil fan and a wrestling fan, you might get Resident Evil over wrestling, because wrestling will probably go on sale much faster than Resident Evil will. Now, I'm not a big Resident Evil fan. I could personally care less, but my brother is a huge Resident Evil fan, and he's super excited for this. And he told me, he's like, yeah, why would anybody buy wrestling over Resident Evil? You can just buy wrestling next year or the year after that. So this is going to be one of the biggest competitors for 2K26's sales. Next up is Tales of Berseria Remastered. I don't think that's going to hurt 2K at all. Marathon, a big first-party game from Sony. Technically, I want to say it's an old Microsoft game, but I think it was even before Microsoft acquired Bungie. It's an old Bungie game. Now, I played the whatever one was on the 360. I thought it was okay. I don't care about distraction shooters. I'm not a PvP guy. If you've been on the channel, you should know that by now. But I know this, who knows, it could blow up. It's only $40. It might be an easier pill to swallow regardless, because it is cheaper than 2K. I mean, 2K base edition for 2K26 is probably going to be $70, and this is going to be $40 to start in. So people might give this a shot instead. And it is launching on every platform except for the Switch 2 currently. I have a feeling it'll get to the Switch 2 eventually, you know, the dev kits and everything. But Marathon, you can't like write it off, because what if 2K26 comes out on the 6th? What if it comes out that week or even the next week? All the news and everything is going to be talking about Marathon. And it's not just the games coming out. It's also all the major news outlets are going to be covering all these other games. There's just so much competition for people's time and money for the month of March. That's why I'm making this video, because I was looking at this, I'm like, oh crap, this is a busy month. I wonder how 2K is going to do with WWE 2K26. Next up is Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse. On the 6th, we're getting Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition. Could care less about that, personally. On the 12th, we're getting 1348 EX Voto. I have no idea what that is. Bubblegum Galaxy. Fatal Frame, another major franchise. Crimson Butterfly Remake. Greedfall 2, The Dying World. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. That actually looked pretty cool. Road Out. And then on the 13th, we're getting Fear the Spotlight. Marvel Cosmic Invasion Physical Edition. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. Now, I loved Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2. I played the first one on the 3DS, the second one on the Switch. I almost replayed them all on the PlayStation 4 because I wanted to get trophies, because there's a PS4 version now. And these games are coming to every platform. This isn't just a Switch exclusive anymore. These games are coming to every platform: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch 2. So that's going to eat up some of the sales. Regardless if you like the franchise or not, this is direct competition for that game. And this game looks to blow the other two out of the water as far as scale and graphics are concerned. So I'm torn between wanting to get this in 2K26. However, because of the channel, obviously WWE 2K26 goes to the front of the list. It's just like, dude, if you didn't have a YouTube channel and you see all these games coming out, I think 2K26 would probably be one of the last ones you'd get. Mainly because it'll go on sale in a few months. So priority-wise, I think only hardcore wrestling fans are going to buy 2K26. Now, on to the 19th of March on the PlayStation 5, probably Xbox. I don't really look at the Xbox anymore. And PC, Crimson Desert. Now, if you've played Black Desert Online, the massive MMO, this is supposed to be, I don't want to say a sequel to it, but it's made by the same developers with their in-engine. It's a massive RPG. It looks awesome. I want to play this. But I'm going to wait a while because 2K26 comes out next month, or in the month of March, I should say. And so, yeah, that's a huge game. People went for that forever. So that's another massive competitor to 2K26's sales. So you see where I'm getting at here? Why I'm like, not necessarily concerned, but aware of what 2K26 is facing in the month of March. And we're not even on to the Switch 2 version, or Switch 2 games yet. Next up is Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition, Remastered. Then Gear Club Unlimited 3, Mouse PI for Hire, Rushing Beat X, Return of the Brawlers. I don't think any of those games are going to compete with 2K. On the 20th, we got Dun Jungle, Ghostmaster Resurrection, Roboto. I don't think any of that will hurt them. On the 23rd, we got Screamer, Digital Deluxe Edition. 24th, Ariana and the Elder Codex. Never even heard of that game. Breakdown Beyond. None of those will really hurt it. On to the 26th, A Strange Overworld, or Overlord. Can't read. Life is Strange Reunion. Ooh, that might be a little competitor. Neopets. I can't believe Neopets is still a thing. Mega Mini Games Collection. New Super Lucky's Tale. Screamer. Until Then. On to the 27th, Ereban, The Shadow Legacy. Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. Now, this is only $40. And it's coming out late in March. This might be like a plus game. Like, you get wrestling and this game. I'm definitely getting Mega Man regardless. Like, I love Mega Man. I'll be playing it probably on the Switch too. But yeah, that's a massive game for me. And that's it for the PlayStation 5. Let's go over to the Switch real quick, because there are some massive games coming out on the Switch 2 that will be in probably direct competition with 2K26. And if it does come to this Nintendo Switch 2, I feel like the Switch 2 version is probably going to sell the least. Not because it's the weakest version or not the most powerful version, but because there's just massive competition for it on the Switch 2. So let's skip down here to March. Obviously, end of February, we got Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Generation Pack, Resident Evil Requiem. So we got all these Resident Evil games finally coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 that are going to be in competition with WWE 2K26. And then I'm just going to skip down to this massive game here called Pokemon Pocopia. It's going to be a $70 Pokemon game, and people are comparing it to Animal Crossing, but it's more like Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you've ever played that game, that's on pretty much every platform now. It's more of like you build a world, you have villagers that help you build and stuff like that. In Animal Crossing, they don't really help you do anything. They're just there to talk to and give you items and stuff. But yeah, in this, you're actually building a world, exploring a world. It's a voxel world. It's if you've played Dragon Quest Builders 2, then this game's going to be awesome for you because it's just like that, but with Pokemon. I am very excited for this game. I want to buy this day one, but if it's coming out the exact same week or day, this week, the 5th, the week of the 5th, if 2K26 comes out that week, I'm not buying this. I'm going to wait until the massive news cycle ends for 2K26, and then I'll probably pick it up near the end of the month or early April because all my time's going to be taken up with the WWE 2K26. So hopefully 2K26 doesn't come out till the following week. That way I can have a little fun playing Pokemon Pocopia while I wait for 2K26 to come out. Anyway, on to, let's see, down here we got Monster Hunter Stories 3 is also coming to the Switch too. What's the next big game here? Super Mario on the 26th of March, a Mario game. Freaking WWE 2K26 has to contend with a Mario game. Now, granted, it's just a 2D side-scroller Mario game that's already been out, but it's a Switch 2 edition with extra stuff. So a lot of Nintendo fans are going to be wanting to play this again, or at least check out the new content, instead of probably wanting to go pick up. And plus, I don't know if they're charging for this or not. I'll have to go check that out. But if they're charging like $10 for this, that's way cheaper than getting WWE 2K26. Granted, it is so cheap they could get both, so maybe that's not an issue. But do you see what I'm saying here? And we're not even looking at the months after this. Like, people don't have unlimited funds. Games are $70, $80, $90 now. So 2K26 is going to have a massive hill to climb and massive competition in the month of March. And I think that's a problem. Like, I could see WWE 2K26 going on sale probably with, like, April, maybe May, even maybe during WrestleMania, which is, like, less than a month after the game comes out. That's going to be crazy to see the game potentially go, I'm not going to say half off, but it might get a 25-30% discount really very quickly. And that's sad. Now, my biggest concern here is because of all this competition and the sales might be a little lower than they're expecting, I'm worried that they're going to really push microtransactions in WWE 2K26. That's the main reason for this video, is if all this competition is coming out, they're going to try to get as much money from the people that actually buy the game over all this other stuff, because there's a lot of us wrestling fans that gobble everything up for wrestling games. I'm really worried that the island is going to be very monetized. I'm worried that my faction is going to be more monetized than usual, just to try to make up for the lower sales that they're probably going to get in the month of March. Who knows? Maybe they'll be fine. Maybe they'll be great. I mean, wrestling's huge. And maybe if all these rumors are true and it's a big, vast improvement over the last 4 games as far as visually, functionality, and all these new, and they're finally dropping last gen, that would help tremendously. Now, if they're not dropping last gen, then I think none of this will matter, because they'll make up the sales on the last gen consoles, because there's a lot of people still on last gen that'll buy up these games, and that'll probably make up for it. So I do think, unfortunately, we're going to get a last gen version. It'll be heavily watered down. It'll probably be buggier than the modern version, but I do think we're still getting a last gen version of the game. Hopefully the current gen version of the game is still, regardless, a massive improvement over the last couple games as far as visuals, functionality. Maybe we'll get some gameplay changes. So anyway, what do you guys make of all this? Sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay frosty.